Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's virtual masterclass. Every single second of your life is dictated by one absolutely crucial science, and that's the fundamentals of human nutrition. What we're going to cover in this explainer today, honestly, it's going to change the way you look at your plate forever. When we sit down to eat, we usually just see, well, food, right? A colorful mix of tomatoes, maybe some hearty beans or fresh herbs. But the science we're about to explore together isn't locked away in some dusty textbook. It's a complex, chemical symphony happening right there in the tangible, delicious food sitting on your plate. So, here's our syllabus for today's session. We'll kick things off with Welcome to Nutrition 101, then we'll compare nutrition versus nutrients, get our macros and micros explained, and finally look at how food fuels us. All right, part one. Welcome to Nutrition 101, the science of food and health. So, at its core, human nutrition is the science of food and exactly how it relates to our overall health. Think of it as the fundamental process where living organisms, including us obviously, receive and process the essential nutrients required to simply stay alive, grow, and heal. It's this incredibly complex interaction of different substances that are constantly working behind the scenes to maintain our health and keep us functioning. Moving on to part two, nutrition versus nutrients. Let's clear up the confusion. Now, this trips up a lot of students. While nutrition is the overall science we just talked about, nutrients are the actual physical chemical compounds from the food found in your diet. They are literally the essential building blocks to life. They're the things responsible for providing energy, driving your growth and development, and actively regulating your bodily processes, day in and day out. So the crucial point is this. Put them side by side and think of it like this. A nutrient is the physical fuel, the food itself that gets metabolized for energy. Nutrition, on the other hand, is the organic process of the machine actually burning that fuel to grow and maintain itself. Essentially, one is the physical source of nourishment and the other is the biological assimilation of it. Okay, part three, macros and micros explained, the 6 main classes. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we categorize these essential chemical compounds. We divide them into 2 main buckets, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macro just means large, right? So these are the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and water that we need in massive quantities. Micro means small. But hey, don't let the name fool you. We need these vitamins and minerals in tiny doses, sure, but they are absolutely critical to our survival alongside those big 4. Together, these make up our 6 main classes of nutrients. All right, so we've got the academic definitions down, but here's the real question. How do these nutrients actually work inside our bodies once we eat them? What are the actual physical mechanics of our food? Let's find out in part 4, how food fuels us, the 4 pillars of function. Before we break down those pillars, we have to remember the stakes here are incredibly high. Consuming a well-balanced diet, getting these nutrients in the exact right proportions, isn't just about feeling good. It actively prevents malnutrition and serves as your frontline defense against severe conditions like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and stroke. Consuming the right fuel is quite literally what safeguards our bodies. And this perfectly breaks down exactly how each specific nutrient acts as a unique type of fuel. Think of these 4 functional pillars almost like a car's operating system. First up, your energy-giving foods. That's your carbs and fats. They are the direct power source for all your voluntary and involuntary body activities, keeping your heart beating and muscles moving. Next, your bodybuilding foods, proteins and minerals. These are the structural mechanics, constantly building and maintaining your muscles, bones, organs, and blood. Then, you have your protective foods. These rely on vitamins and minerals to safeguard your body against diseases, kind of like a security detail. And finally, regulatory foods, like water and roughage. These act as the system's coolant and oil, maintaining digestion, temperature, and electrolyte balance. Every nutrient has a specific job in the body's engine. So as we wrap up today's foundational masterclass, I want to leave you with a little bit of homework. A thought experiment for the next time you sit down to eat. Will you look at your next meal just as food or as the specific, perfectly engineered fuel your body's engine needs to thrive? Think about the energy, the building blocks, and the protection sitting right there on your plate. Thank you so much for joining this explainer today, and I'll see you next time.